in southern Nevada, a nonprofit is now working to help the most vulnerable people in the LGBT community. But it's struggling to stay open, and 13 Action News anchor Carla Wade has the story all new this morning.
The center now faces a period of financial insecurity. At the end of 2016, the center was unable to secure a grant, so it started the year with a budget shortfall, which has meant staff reductions and cutting back the hours it can be open for things like free HIV testing, family support groups, and various programs that help young people and seniors.
It's huge for the local community here, especially because I guess it's more poverty-stricken over here.
We're going to have to double up our efforts all around. You know, as a nonprofit, you have to fundraise in a lot of different ways throughout the year anyway. And so when you come into a situation like this, you have to do a lot more.
Through donations and partnering with other organizations and local businesses, the center is trying to raise money through the Proud to Be campaign. The goal is $50,000. Wade says the cost of failing to meet that goal is just too great.
It means that we'll be serving less people. The population that we serve is some of the most vulnerable and underserved in our community.
Carla Wade, 13 Action News.
Well, as of right now, they have raised just under $9,000 towards that goal. Now, if you'd like to donate, you could just head to their website at centerlv.org, and they could always use some volunteers there as well.
This morning, jurors in Bill Cosby's sex assault trial are speaking out.
So, why exactly were they unable to make a decision? Well, that's next in your GMA First Look.
Coming up at 6:30, a local basketball star is making a big name for himself in the NBA draft.
We are a few minutes away from 6:30, and this would be the time of morning, temperature-wise, certainly, to get outside, squeeze that exercise in early this morning. Maybe do some of your vocal talking exercises so you don't embarrass yourself on local live television. But it's also, coincidentally, a great time to be outside because you're not going to catch a sunburn, unlike at 10, 11 in the morning when that can happen in as few as 15 minutes. If you're going to be by the pool this afternoon, just make sure you're covered up with sunscreen, moderate air quality. Pollen is slow medium, ragweed, grasses, sagebrush. Those are the problems, Yasmin. Also, the problems temperature-wise. We'll talk about those in a moment.
Well, we also have problems on the road, so get ready, folks. We have a crash right near Windmill and Pollock. Crews working to clear this one up, but a car did run into a light pole out here. It might be a problem for a while. The other crashes that we're tracking for you, one being reported within the last few minutes, right near the 215 in Oso Blanca, a little slowdown in the eastbound direction, and the one right near Cheyenne, just east of Civic Center, and then finally Lamb at the 215, Chopper 13 over this one. Everything seems to be off of the road. This car just in the dirt, not sure exactly what's going on, but you might run into it. Some troopers out here, and it does look like the lights are out here. Our production guys have been keeping an eye on it, so if you do drive through the area, just a heads up, this is a four-way stop. Guys, back to you.
Okay, this morning we're starting to hear from jurors in Bill Cosby's sexual assault case.
And ABC's Lindsay Davis has the details.
In this morning's GMA First Look, one of the jurors in Bill Cosby's sexual assault trial speaking out, saying there's no need for a second trial.
It would be a waste of money because the man has already suffered the loss of his career and earnings over the past 11 years. It's done, it's settled.
Thank you.
The juror spoke to ABC's Pittsburgh affiliate WTAE on the condition of anonymity. He wouldn't say how he voted during deliberations, but did say he questioned how the trial was affecting the 79-year-old's health. I
wondered if he was going to be able to finish because he looked really weathered.
Coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Lindsay Davis, ABC News, New Jersey.
All right, well, good morning, Las Vegas. Certainly have a lot more coming up at 6:30.
Including help for a Valley church destroyed in a fire. It's a story we brought you as it was breaking on Good Morning Las Vegas.
And two men barricade themselves inside that house. You see the damage left behind by police. We have the very latest on the investigation.
And former President George W. Bush is addressing the Veterans Summit right now. You're looking at a live picture. More at 6:30.
got 4 really good libraries in our part of the world. Johnson, Bush 41, Bill Clinton, brother with a different mother, and ours at SMU. And so Margaret Spellings came up with this idea.
And happening now at 6:30, protesters fighting Republicans' plan to try and repeal and replace Obamacare, how it could impact you. That's next.
People are coming from all over the country to help a local church through a tragedy. Parker Collins talked to them about how they're handling the heat. But first, let's get to Dana. She's got breaking news.
Yeah, tense night on the valley's west side as police are involved in a barricade situation in a Desert Shores neighborhood. Leslie Marin is live near Rampart and Lake Mead with the very latest on the situation. Leslie.
Dana, right now police are still inside this home here. You can see investigators are walking in and out of that home. They're actually walking in through that hole in the garage. We believe that was actually made by police during this barricade situation when 2 men barricaded themselves in that home with what we're told is a 7-month-old baby. Now take a look at this video. This is the moment police took those men into custody. Right now, police believe this stems back to a robbery that happened last night around 10 p.m. at a bus stop about 1.5 miles from here. Police say 2 suspects robbed several people, and those victims then jumped in a car to follow those suspects. And that's when police say the suspects shot at them. Now, police did tell us they were led to this home in their investigation here in Desert Shores, where they believe the suspects were staying along with 6 other people and that baby. We did speak to the father of one of the boys that lives at this home, who says it was his 7-month-old granddaughter inside.
I'm very concerned.
Okay, well, police do say that that baby is safe right now. We've also seen a lot of children's toys because we can actually see inside that garage. There's also a baby stroller right outside the home. We've seen investigators just going in and out of that home right now as they continue just figuring out what has happened. We also know that several people that were inside that home are also in custody, aside from the suspects police believe were involved in that robbery. Reporting live, Leslie Meddy, 13 Action News.
All right, Leslie, thanks. Great job on this developing story.
All right, we got some good news, bad news here. Good news is it's almost the weekend. Happy Friday.
Yes.
The bad news, Justin Bruce, the heat is going to be hanging around this weekend.
That's true, though. I will take a hot weekend over a cool work week, any day of the week, I suppose. We don't have a choice in the matter either. Sunshine outside as we look over toward Red Rock Canyon. A nice glimpse this morning on the west side of the valley. It is 90 degrees officially at McCarran right now. That's noteworthy because this is 4 degrees warmer than the warmest temperature on record for June the 23rd, first thing in the morning. So a warm start is going to give us a real quick climb toward the triple digits. We should hit 100 by about 10 o'clock this morning, and this afternoon your high temperature sizzles at 114, 109 in Summerlin, 115 in Henderson. Yasmin, we'll talk about temperature trends through the weekend, see if it's going to get better or worse in just a second.
All right, thank you, Justin. Right now we have crashes all over the valley. Let's start off with what's happening on the 215. On the north side of town, we have a crash eastbound 215 right near Oso Blanca, and then another crash westbound 215, this one right near Lamb, and the traffic lights out here are out, so that's a 4-way stop. Making our way south, we have a crash on Cheyenne just east of Civic Center, and then finally on Windmill right near Pollock. Northbound lanes affected and then eastbound lanes affected. But crews are out here working to clear this one up. If you're hopping on the highway, quick check of your drive times, just about 65 miles an hour. So a little good news for you there. Thanks, Yasmin. At the top of the hour, we told you how volunteers from across the country are coming to Las Vegas to help Zion United Methodist Church after a destructive fire.
And reporter Parker Collins right now is live in North Las Vegas. And Parker, the heat really not doing these people any favors.
Todd, the heat has already started today. I can feel it, and it's certainly not helping the volunteers. You can see clear signs out here that the work is underway, but if you can push in up here, Travis, you'll see they have a lot more work ahead of them. I was out here talking to the volunteers. A lot of them aren't from Las Vegas. They're staying at local churches, and that means they aren't used to our heat. So they're taking some precautions. They won't work during the hottest part of the day. A lot of breaks. They've bought misters. They're going to put those out here, taking a lot of water. It's been a shock for some of them who are coming hundreds of miles away to help Zion United Methodist Church rebuild. And the whole goal here is to save as much money as possible, cleaning up and salvaging what they can so the church can use that for their rebuild.
How much work is it going to be? It's going to be really labor intensive because of the heat.
Already they've got more than 24 volunteers helping. They expect more will be on the way. Reporting live, Parker Collins, 13 Action News.
All right, thanks so much, Parker. Well, some of the former presidents are pretty busy this morning. Barack Obama's arrived in Indonesia for vacation. We've got some video of the motorcade there arriving. He spent 4 years of childhood in Indonesia, and looks like we're having, there we go. You can see them kind of arriving there in Indonesia. Also, right now, actually, former President George Bush just finished up speaking at the Veteran Summit. There's some other key speakers that are on the stage now. It's in Washington, D.C., and speakers include people from government and private sectors outlining a plan to help more veterans and their families.
Dana, thank you. Well, this morning it appears the Senate Republicans' health care bill might be in trouble, as a lot of lawmakers right now are concerned about the plan, as well as people across the United States. Protesters were dragged out of the hallway right in front of House Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's office yesterday, and some were even carried away, as you see right there. Now, the plan proposes major cuts to Medicaid. It also gives sizable tax cuts to the wealthy, or insurers wouldn't be required to cover essential services like maternity care and pre-existing conditions. Republicans then can only afford to lose really 2 votes here, and as it stands right now, at least 4 Republicans are no votes, and others have also expressed some concerns.
The intention is not to take down the bill. The intention is to make the bill better.
This is a nasty bill, and they're trying to cover it up with little things here and there.
Well, President Trump right now is supportive of the bill, but former President Barack Obama has been a vocal critic, and House Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said that he'd like to try and vote on this bill by the 4th of July.
Nevada has issued emergency regulations for approved dispensaries, which means they can start selling recreational marijuana July 1st. The regulations include limits on the level of THC in each serving of edibles. They also require specific warnings on packages of edible marijuana products, saying it's not intended for children. The packaging also must be child-proof. A vote on the regulations is set for Monday.
A Las Vegas native and Bishop Gorman alum is making his NBA dreams come true this morning.
With the 10th pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Zach Collins from Gonzaga University.
All right, good for Zach. You see him there. He's surrounded by his family as his name was called out. Now, the Sacramento Kings originally drafted him, but then he was traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. The 19-year-old played high school basketball at Bishop Gorman. There, he led the school to 4 consecutive state championships. Collins was also sure to represent his hometown last night. Take a look at this here. That's his custom jacket and shoes decorated with the Las Vegas Prince. I got to know where I got to get me those shoes, Beth Fisher.
They look great. They would look great on you, too. Well, the NHL draft is tonight, which means the Golden Knights will continue filling out their roster. You have the chance to support the team tonight. A draft party is being hosted from 3 to 9 over at the T-Mobile Arena. It's free, and the first 1,000 fans willing to wait in line will get autographs from the players. The Golden Knights have the 6th, 13th and 15th picks in the first round of the draft. And you have to check out these pictures. It's going to make you fall in love with our teammates even more. That is Golden Knights goalie Marc-Andre Fleury teaching a little boy some hockey skills. Some of the players selected in Wednesday's draft expansion draft have been making the rounds in Las Vegas, getting to know the community, taking in the sights. There's a shot of a couple of the guys getting a beautiful view of the valley. Welcome to Las Vegas, gentlemen.
Well, this morning, a local woman believes that someone stole her dog in order to try and teach her a lesson. Maribel Diaz says that she came home Monday to find her backyard gate wide open and her dog Perry missing. Diaz says that neighbors have been reporting her in the past couple of days for leaving Perry in the backyard while she's at work. But she says that she takes extra care to make sure that Perry stays cool during this heat wave.
The sun is here, or it's not here. He comes here, you can see the hair everywhere. He puts his pillows where he wants them.
Well, Metro is now investigating this case. Animal Control says that they typically see a spike in calls from concerned neighbors during these kinds of heat waves, but most of those cases are left unfounded.
Summer has just started and the extreme heat has already claimed at least 5 lives this month. That's according to the Clark County Coroner's Office. The National Weather Service says more people die from heat than any other type of weather. In fact, they say most of those deaths happen in Nevada. Last year, 50 people died in our state from heat. The second highest state was Arizona, where 9 people died. Meanwhile, a wildfire burning in Bryan Head, Utah has forced even more people out of their homes. The blaze has doubled in size. This is usually a busy time of year for the ski town, but everything's shut down right now. Investigators say the fire was started by someone using a torch to burn weeds. Police say that person could face charges. This is one of several wildfires burning in the West.
All right, time now is 6:39. Coming up next on Good Morning Las Vegas, a little boy survives a 16-foot fall out of the window, all because he was apparently holding a stuffed animal. Justin.
Check the weekend forecast and unfortunately no heat relief. Temperatures dropping just 1 degree Saturday and Sunday, 113 both weekend days. I am watching a little more organized heat relief in the 7-day plan. I'm going to time that out for you next.